You, Mr. Askari, for a global perspective on the type of development that we wish to achieve. I want to emphasize that we have quite a bit of time remaining to have more open contributions from the participants, questions and answers to the speakers, and comments on how people are perceiving what we want to continue with this initial launching of Europeans for the Belt and Road initiative. I think this has a great potential of uniting nations and people in Europe around the kinds of solutions that we've heard. I underline that when you listen to the presentations of Mr. Amon, Mr. Hopma, Mr. From Greece, Mr. Flores, as well as our friend from Norway, Mr. Erik Solheim. And there were others who we had invited who were not able to be here. We have a very good friend who has worked with us from Italy, who is fighting to promote the continued development of the Memorandum of Understanding, which was unfortunately not continued in Italy, Mr. Geraci, the president of the Belt and Road Institute in Portugal, who I met while I was was invited guest at the Belt and Road Forum in celebrating the 10th year of the Belt and Road Initiative in Beijing in October 2023. We will go forward because the world needs cooperation, inclusiveness, and it will not survive with any other form. We see in these presentations that there are solutions. There is no reason that these solutions cannot be policy. That is the message we have to carry forward to Brussels and to other places in Europe. There are solutions. We do not continue to have to quarrel and promote conflict as if cooperation is not a possibility. Rather, quote, security interests, which are defined by a certain continued idea of dominance by old Western European policy making, that will not work anymore. The world will not accept that. And it's time for Europe and the United States to join in another spirit. I simply say I am an American as well as a Swedish citizen, and I can speak as an American citizen that it is a long time since we had a leader, the founder of the United States, Benjamin Franklin, who was considered the first Sinophile, who actually loved China and understood China as a model, as a model for the development of the North American colonies, which ultimately became the United States. That should become the spirit that the United States revives in friendship with China. Unfortunately, that is not the present policy of the United States at this time, as remarks from Mr. Solheim also indicated. We need to change that. We need to change the spirit and the thinking inside the United States and Europe and Brussels to recover a different idea for how we can solve world problems. So I leave the possibility now to include comments and questions. I think we have a number of people who've been also asking about President Xi Jinping's visit that is upcoming to France and to Hungary and to Serbia as a beginning phase of how we can go forward.